Hey guys, Dewey Lucero here with Wild Groves, and to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we're going to make a rosemary beer bread. So let's get to it. All right, guys, let's go over the ingredient list. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need, and then we're going to get to work on this. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of our Ascolano extra virgin olive oil, 1 medium onion, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 3 cups of flour, 3 cloves of garlic, 4 for a little extra garlickiness, 1.5 teaspoons of some finely chopped up fresh rosemary, 1 teaspoon of some salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of some black pepper, and a nice cold beer to round it out. All right, guys, first up, we're going to chop our onion. So let's get things cleared off and ready to chop. We've got our Ascolano extra virgin olive oil ready to go here. So this is going to be chopped somewhat finely into half moon shapes. Let's get the skin off. I should just chop it in half. You know, because I'm a professional chef, I know exactly what I'm doing. Actually, this bread will be great with a cold beer on St. Patrick's Day. Good little appetizer to bring out. You can even dip it in some olive oil. You could try dipping it with balsamic vinegar and even put some seasonings or just some sea salt in it. So I'd put some balsamic down, put a little olive oil over the top of that in a nice little dish, and a little bit of sea salt, and you can dip away, and it'll be absolutely delicious. All right, so let's finely chop this up into our half moons here. So far, so good, people. Okay, that looks good. Okay, we've got our onion ready, all sliced, ready to go. Check that out. Let's get our olive oil. So we needed about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to eyeball this. This is how we do it in the Lucero household. You know who taught me this? My dad. All right, so that's about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, or Ascolano. I always, when you get over here next to this extra virgin olive oil, just the smell of it, the aroma, right off the bat, you can smell it's fresh, it's fruity. This year's olive oil has a lot more green herbaceousness, so you can definitely smell that. This is ready to go. I'm going to get it swirled around the bottom of our pan, get these in here. Right. All right, get those going. All right, so the first tablespoon of our sugar goes in with the onions so we can get these guys nice and caramelized. Let's get some sugar. Get that nice and spread around. I can smell the onion really starting to come off. That smells great. Okay. Let's get that mixed around. Man, the smell, the aroma, it's great. This is even making my eyes water more than when I was cutting it. Whew, okay. So good, it's worth crying over. Let's get our rosemary picked off here. David Collier, our photographer, was nice enough to get some fresh rosemary for us this morning. He's standing right here, you just can't see him. And this is straight from your garden, Dave? What do you think? That's about 1.5 teaspoons, right? All right. Finely chopped rosemary. Oh, this smells great. Let's check our onions. Looks good. Turn that up a little bit. And keep in mind, I am no professional chef. This is just stuff that I have done at home for the family. Now, the family has told me that they do like these recipes, so I'm hoping that you guys enjoy them as well too. I'm picky. I'm a foodie. I love eating all kinds of food, and usually, if I like something, it's palatable. It's good. You're going to enjoy it. So take that for what it is. We're in the middle of doing our diced up. Very small cuts of rosemary, the fresh rosemary, so we're going to finish that up here. We needed, let's see, how much do we need of that? 1.5 teaspoons of fresh rosemary. So I'm thinking that we're looking pretty good here. This smells amazing, by the way, with the freshness right out of the garden this morning. So there you go. That's what it looks like. We're going to put that into the bread. That's going to add some really nice flavor for that bread. Get a lot of that rich rosemary, the aroma in particular, out of that. So let's get this garlic here. All right, so we've got our cloves. I've added one more because I really didn't think this was a full clove. I added one to make it a 3-clove situation here. The 1 clove wasn't cutting it for me, so let's get rid of the ends of that one and the end of that one. We're going to dice these up very small, just like we did the rosemary. You know what? We better check our caramelized onions here, so those are ready. Oh yeah, we're looking good. Woo! Coming along! Oh yeah, now that smell of that caramelized smell is starting to come up now. Starting to brown. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good there. We got our garlic finely minced up here. We got our rosemary. All right, so we're going to start adding some of these. Oh, let's check our... All right, so the onions are almost caramelized. They're looking delicious, nice and brown. It smells great. We've got our garlic all diced up, ready to go, very small. The rosemary also cut up very small. All right, we're going to start adding in all the ingredients to our bowl here. So let's get going with that. I'm going to add in the flour first. We're going to do our 3 cups of flour, 1. 2, this is Lucero style, by the way, eyeballing it. 3, actually, those were pretty good right there. All right, so we've got our flour, our 1 more tablespoon of sugar. Get that in there. All right, rosemary. So this is our rosemary. I think we're going to take the whole thing. So let's get that in here. All right, perfect. And then we're going to get all of our diced up garlic. Let's put that in. The color on this is looking really good here. And to mix in that. All right, so we needed 1 more teaspoon of olive oil in here, so we'll use that. All right, 1 teaspoon of salt. Get that in there. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. 1/4 teaspoon of some pepper. Ooh, yeah, look at that color. I like that. Smells good. Okay. All right, that's all we need. And now for the big grand finale, 1 cold beer, your choice. Let's open this up. The cool thing is it's going to bubble up and fizz. It's fun to watch. All right. Now's a good time to get these onions. Look at that. We've got some really nice caramelized onions here. They look great. They smell great. Kind of disperse these out so they start to cool there in the beer. All right. So we've got this nice foamy mixture. Now we just want to lightly stir this up. You don't want to overmix. You just want to get everything nice and somewhat consistent. So I'm just going to stir this up, be somewhat delicate here. It is pretty cool to watch because that beer is all bubbling up in here, and the smell, yeah, it smells great. All right, this mixture is coming together really nice. So what we'll do when this is done is we'll get our pan greased. We'll use the same Ascolano olive oil to do that. And then we'll get it into the oven. And it's going to cook at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, we're getting close. All right, that looks good. I was just turning this over in here. Okay, everything's off the bottom. Let that sit for a second. All right, so we're going to get our pan. What I do is I pour a little bit in, about a tablespoon on the bottom, and then I get a paper towel. I turn it in half because you don't want the paper towel to soak up all the oil. I get this and fold it over, and I use this to coat my pan. That way you get even coating. If you've got a little olive oil in the bottom on this, that's perfectly fine. It's going to add some really great flavor. It'll get crispy in those sections that have a little bit of olive oil, and that's going to add some flavor to your bread too. So get this nice and coated. I always forget how good this smells. I can smell that Ascolano in there. All right, so we're all coated. And set that aside. If you got some on your hands, just rub it in. Olive oil is so good for your skin. All right, guys, here it is. The big moment. We're going to pour this into the pan. So this is all very well mixed in. It's set for just a second here. The onions have had time to cool off, and we're ready to pour this in. We've just oiled our pan here. Here we go. All right. Smell that one more time. That smells great. You got a little bit of that rosemary in there with the beer and that batter. All right, folks, so here we are. We're at the end. We've got our bread pan filled up with our batter that we just made. It smells great. It looks great. We're going to pop this into the oven. It's at 375, and we're going to cook it for about an hour. So I'd say at about 50 minutes, get in there and check it out just to make sure that you don't overcook it. If you have a toothpick, stick it in. If it's just under being sticky, then I would pull it out, and then it'll finish cooking on the oven top. All right, last step is to pour or drizzle a little bit more of our Ascolano extra virgin olive oil over the top, and this will help to give a little extra flavor and moisture. So it just takes a little drizzle. Plus it looks good. I mean, come on. Can't beat that. All right, and we're ready to go. We're going to pop this into the oven. Cook at 375 for about an hour. I would say at 50 minutes you want to be checking this to make sure that you don't overcook it. So here we go. So we just pulled the bread out. We let it cool. We've started to chop it up here. I'm going to get it plated. You guys, it is so moist, and the aroma coming off this bread is absolutely delicious. It's making my mouth water. We got our bowl for some olive oil. I'm using some rosemary sea salt. That's some of ours. So let's get some of this on here. This is how I would plate this. And get some olive oil poured. I'm using some more Ascolano extra virgin olive oil. And get your dipper ready here, your bowl ready for dipping. Some rosemary sea salt. And let's dip away, guys. This is the best part. Try it out. Oh, that is really moist. Super soft. Hope you guys get a cold beer to go along with this. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Hope you guys get to try this out. Thanks for watching.